Good morning, I'm Tyler Crowder.
And I'm Kayla Larkin.
Welcome to the E2 News.
This is the news for the week of Monday, January 26th to Friday, January 30th.
Here's this week's lunch menu.
Monday, mini corn puppies, choice turkey ham sub.
Tuesday, alphabet soup, choice sloppy joe.
Wednesday, hamburger steak, choice chicken wings.
Thursday, spaghetti, choice corn dog.
Friday, shrimp poppers, choice turkey wrap.
The Explorer bookstore will be open this Wednesday during lunch.
And remember, every book costs just $1.50 each.
Our boys basketball team has a game this Tuesday at Edgewood and Thursday at Anderson Elementary. Both games start at 4:30.
Good luck, boys. Bring home a victory.
It's time to hear the word of the week.
This week's word is elegant.
Elegant means grateful, dignified in appearance or behavior.
For example, the queen looked elegant at the dance.
Remember to try to use the word of the week when you are talking or writing this week.
And now it's time for the
shout out of the week.
Dr. Scott would like to give a shout out to Mrs. Short and Mrs. Stanley's classes for spelling out perfect attendance and earning a class popcorn party.
Mrs. Shaw would like to give a shout out to third graders Merrick Adams, Tristan Bybee, and Jasmine Leisure, and Sydney Graham for passing their 12s in multiplication. Way to go!
Mrs. Worley would like to give a shout out to all the students who ride Bus 16 for their wonderful bus behavior. Way to go, kids. Keep up the good work.
And now it's time for Mrs. Womack to do the fish cast drawing for books.
Good morning, Eastside Explorers, and once again, it's time for our fish cast drawing for books. Remember, if your name gets called, come on down to the office and get a certificate that you can use for a free book at the bookstore on Wednesday, on the stage, during your lunch. First grade, from Mrs. Adams' class, Natasha Harless. From Mr. Barnett's class, Damian Smith. From Mr. Barnett's class again, Nathaniel Miller. And another one from Mr. Barnett's class, Mr. Wade Smith. Come on down and get a certificate. From second grade, Mrs. Miller's class, Cadence Chaney. From Mrs. Poor's class, Dallas Huff. From Mrs. Poor's class again, Alex Lowe. And our last second grader for this week, from Mrs. Miller's class, Elena Rodriguez Busby. Come on down and get her certificate. Our third graders for this week, from Mrs. Sanders' class, Skylar Cannon. Mrs. Stanley's class, Alexi Keller. Mrs. Shaw's class, Miss Sydney Graham. And our last winner from third grade for this week is from Mrs. Sanders' class, and it's Chloe Rust. Come on down and get a certificate. Fourth grade, from Mrs. Biggis's class, Jasmine DeMarco. Mrs. Payton's class, Landon Braden. Mrs. Maidlow's class, Prince Bryant. Our last fourth grader for this week, from Mrs. Biggis's class again, Maura Stewart. Come on down and get a certificate. Fifth graders from Mr. Lambert's class, Mackenzie Hauk. Mr. Lambert's class again, Mr. Jacob Gronis. Miss Plummer's class, Tredessa Welling. And our last fifth grader for this week is from Mrs. Fulton's class, and it is Liza Reese. Come on down and get a certificate. Once again, Eastside Explorers, thanks for being proud, positive, and productive.
Have a great week.